Hispania, kita kali ini akan membahas tentang diet. Mau ikut diet LCHF, low carb high fat, tapi takut dengan kolesterol. Ini part 1 ya. Yang video ini dari What I Have Learned ini, saya membahas tentang masalah seputar kolesterol dalam diet karbohidrat rendah, lemak tinggi. Gimana? Apakah banyak yang ingin ngikut diet ini, tapi ternyata mereka takut dengan adanya kolesterol yang bisa asupan kolesterol, bahkan kolesterolnya bisa naik dan segala macamnya. Apakah arterinya bisa tersumbat? Apakah bisa menambah resiko terhadap penyakit jantung dan stroke? Yuk, mari kita simak penjelasannya oleh What I Have Learned ini. Bagi yang penasaran, tonton terus video ini. Terima kasih telah mengklik video ini. Bagi yang merasakan manfaat dari materi di BINARAGA.NET ini, silakan klik subscribe dan tombol lonceng di bawah ini, dan bisa silakan share kepada teman-teman Anda. Selamat datang di channel BINARAGA.NET bersama saya Jo Puafu, biasa dipanggil nama Jo JP atau JP, yang membahas tentang nutrisi, latihan, dan produk seputar fitness. Jangan khawatir, video ini telah kita selamatkan dengan teks bahasa Indonesia supaya Anda bisa mengerti, karena video ini dalam bahasa Inggris. Jadi bagi yang tertarik untuk menjalani atau baru mau menjalani diet karbohidrat rendah, sebaiknya tonton terus video ini. Akan memberikan banyak sekali insight, banyak sekali informasi-informasi yang bisa membantu Anda ya dalam menjalani diet karbohidrat rendah.
Low carb or ketogenic cookbooks with recipes like this may sound like a delicious way to lose weight, but what about cholesterol and heart disease? What's interesting about this saturated fat heavy recipe is that it isn't recent at all. It came from an 1895 cookbook, a time when heart disease rates were at an all-time low. Almost every single recipe in the Baptist Ladies Cookbook contains butter, eggs, cream, or lard. And if you rewind to 99 years earlier in 1796, when the first American cookbook came out, you find many recipes using plenty of lard and fat pork, and a majority of the recipes call for butter, usually by the pound or half pound. Before 1910, people in the United States almost exclusively used saturated fat heavy butter and animal fats for cooking and baking. At the time, cooking with vegetable oils was almost unheard of. But as the process of hulling and pressing seeds and beans was mechanized, vegetable oils became cheaper than butter or animal fat. From 1909 to 1999, consumption of soybean oil in the United States increased more than 1,000-fold per person. Margarine consumption increased 12-fold, but consumption of butter and lard decreased by about 4-fold each. Sometime after 1910, there was concern about the growing rates of heart disease, and President Eisenhower's heart attack in 1955 really got the ball rolling on figuring out what causes heart disease. There were a couple places to look. For example, smoking rates were on the rise, along with the rise of heart disease. President Eisenhower, by the way, had been a 4-pack-a-day chain smoker a couple years before his heart attack. Despite this, and the fact that the president's heart attack occurred right in the middle of the rapid decline of animal fat consumption and rapid rise of vegetable oil consumption, saturated fat took the blame. You probably know the rest of the story. It was found that cholesterol is contained in the plaques that clog arteries, and saturated fat increases your cholesterol. Thus, artery clogging saturated fat became a common phrase. But before we get into whether having high cholesterol from eating too much saturated fat causes heart disease, let's look at cholesterol itself. What is it for? Well, first off, it's very important for maintaining the integrity of your cells in your body. Without it, your cells would turn to mush. One huge function of cholesterol is making and metabolizing hormones. Hence, cholesterol levels naturally rise throughout pregnancy, a time in which the body is producing all sorts of hormones to manufacture a fresh human. A 1997 study of university students found that cholesterol levels rose proportional to the degree of examination stress. When the body is under stress, it produces cholesterol to make hormones that help deal with this stress. If you are awakened by a burglar trying to break into your home at 4 a.m. but have a checkup later in the day, you can expect your cholesterol levels to be sky high, and for your doctor to prescribe you a statin, a cholesterol-lowering drug. Cholesterol's importance in hormone production also explains why men taking statins have been found to have lower testosterone. So, I hope we can agree that we need some cholesterol.
Semoga bermanfaat. Saya Joe Pomafu bersama BINARAGA.NET. Kami mengajak Anda membangun generasi baru yang lebih cerdas, fit dan tangguh untuk menuju kemandirian energi yang berkelanjutan.